Hello lovelies, and welcome back to part 2 of the How to Sew a Competition Bikini tutorial. In part 1 we left with the crotch seam sewn, the lining completely pinned to the shelf, and the butt scrunch elastic aligned down the center and securely sandwiched between the shell fabric and the back lining. Today we are going to complete the bikini. But before we get started, let me know in the comments below how you did in part 1. Ready? Let's go! First, we are going to apply the leg elastic, but before doing that, let me explain when and where I stretch the elastic. I don't stretch the elastic through the glutes. Then at a point, which is marked on the pattern piece, I'll stretch the elastic 15% to 20% greater than the elastic resting state for about 4 inches throughout the entire crotch. The stretching ends at another point on the front pattern piece after the crotch. And again, I don't stretch the elastic through the rest of the front. Next is the front waistband elastic. As you sew on the elastic, pull it about 15% to 20% greater than the elastic resting state. Now it's time to scrunch the butt. Remember that we created a channel with the pins. Make sure your pins are not piercing your elastic in any way. As you scrunch the butt, pull the elastic to full stretch capacity. While you zigzag the elastic, make sure your back piece ensemble is smoothed out so that you don't sew down any wrinkles or gathers caused by the stretched elastic at the crotch. End your zigzag stitches approximately 3/8 of an inch away from the back V peak. Trim away excess elastic. Next, we're going to apply the back waist elastic. You can either serge the elastic on like I've shown in the Watch Me Sew video linked below, or you can zigzag the elastic on. Today I'll show you the zigzag method. I serged the raw edge just for a finish that is consistent with the other edges, but that's totally optional. Before applying the elastic, snip the back V 3/8 of an inch. Make sure your snip is through both the lining and the shell fabric. Now apply the elastic using a zigzag stitch close to the outer edge of the elastic. When you get to the snipped back V, backstitch once or twice to anchor your elastic, then cut your elastic at least 2 inches past the V. Fold the elastic side over and repeat for the rest of the back waist, leaving at least 2 inches of elastic ahead of the V. Now let's finish the back waist. Hold your workpiece with the shell facing you. Bring your two elastic ends upward to form an A. Pin the elastic ends together, then straight stitch through the intersection. Finally, fold over the elastic and zigzag stitch the elastic down with your stitches close to the free end of the elastic. In other words, don't stitch down the elastic near the folded edge. Keep your needle in the down position once it hits the center of the V, then pivot your workpiece and continue sewing. Finish the leg hole elastic and front waist elastic the same way. Re-stretch the elastic through the crotch and through the front waist. Alright y'all, take a moment to catch your breath because the majority of the work is done. All you have to do now is install your connectors. I'll sometimes apply barrel slide closures to the back waist. It allows you or your client to disconnect from the bikini if there's a tinkle emergency after getting tanned. All you have to do is string the back bikini tab through one side of the closure and use an extra strap through the other end. Then string the strap through the rhinestone connector. And finish by stringing the front tab through the rhinestone connector. Alternatively, you can connect the front and back using only a rhinestone connector. But for this particular bikini, I'm going to go ahead and use the barrel slide closures. A simple straight stitch will provide the strength necessary to hold the connectors in place. Stitch at least 3 passes through the tabs. And you're done! Now you can decorate and bedazzle your bikini and really let your artistry unfold. If this tutorial was helpful, like, share, and comment below. And make sure you're subscribed to the MIKO Suit Supplies YouTube channel to stay up to date on all the tutorials coming your way.